Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. Now I'm about 2 Alliance War videos behind and I try to catch up and I never get the time. Therefore I'm gonna squeeze 2 wars in one video and then I'm gonna be up to date and then we're gonna have a day-long break and then hopefully I will be able to upload the rest of them on time. So this is gonna be war number 5, I believe. And it is against the Brotherhood. Now, I do bring in quite an interesting team of Quake, Dr. Doom, and Archangel, and I'm gonna have quite fun Bishop mini-boss fight. But also another reason, obviously, to put both of these Alliance War videos into one longer video is because I didn't have like all that many fights, but I did have some interesting fights that I do want to show. So either way, let's just quickly fast forward the boosting process. All of these wars are obviously super important. ASR is gunning for that top spot. We hopefully will end up landing somewhere in top 3, but obviously the goal is the first. Right, so I have activated here basically like a medium set of, well, medium attack and health boost and a large champion boost. And in this war in particular, I get to do all my fights in one go. That's why it was kind of perfect here. Right, so the first fight is against Tigra on path 1. I used to do this path a lot. And you see Tigra here placed a lot as well. And I could never really kind of figure out why. Especially if you use like a Mystic Champion because... and Dr. Doom more specifically. Because he just absolutely shreds this fight. And all that Arc Overload node that she has just keeps on feeding the Mystic Dispersion from the very beginning, so it's very quick to get to level 3, and as soon as you get to level 3 the fight is over. The only real danger in this fight is kind of like at the beginning of the fight when she starts unblockable, and then I suppose the idea is that you might get cornered or something, but as soon as she dashes back even once or throws a heavy attack, that's all you need. You just hit her block a bit, wait for that regen to expire, and that's literally it. The fight's over. Here we can see that Doom cycle is even an overkill here. And yeah, fairly straightforward, fairly easy fight. And now against this Mr Sinister, he's on, was it Buffet or, I think it's, no, it's Masochism. So also not too much problem. I could have used Quake here quite easily. But with the way things are currently in the game, I am personally quite nervous using Quake. So I decided that I'll just bring in Dr. Doom, and as soon as I get the guy in a Doom cycle, it shouldn't be too hard after that point. Yes, he regenerates a bit with Masochism, with his own abilities, but Doom doesn't have the highest crit rate in the game, so he doesn't crit all that much. And level 3s obviously are not crits, so he's not going to regenerate any of the level 3 damage. Only thing that I kind of have to be careful is that he does not throw the level 1 if I put Incinerates on him. I also thought that he'd probably be pretty much dead at the point I do throw my level 2. Also, he can block unblockable attacks. So that was kind of the point there. That's why I didn't throw my level 2. That's why I'm going for my second level 3. Because he can block unblockable special attacks, I believe. And yeah, so instead I'm just gonna go up to my second level 3 that does a ton of damage. And now I have 2 Furies and a few more hits and the fight's pretty much over. That's it. Very easy, very safe with Dr. Doom. Absolutely nothing to worry about. Now I'm gonna move up here, path 3. This is gonna be Cosmic Ghost right there. And because I didn't use Quake up until now, I will be using Quake. I'm also using one of these regen boosts that I just kind of have to use. Because of all the compensations, basically, it's either use them or lose them. And you know, why not? So I figured I probably will end up taking a bit of block damage or something. So just to be safe, I guess. But to be honest, I probably shouldn't have brought Quake. I probably should have said to my officer just to get something else. He more than likely intended me to use Quake in some other fight as well, where I didn't. And there are better counters. Well, maybe not necessarily better counters, but quicker counters than Quake in this fight. But you know, we're still gonna get it done with Quake. And that's all she wrote. no problem here. And then the mini boss fight that I said, this Safeguard Recovery Bishop. And we're just going to go in with Archangel. And Bishop has been giving quite a lot of trouble to a lot of people. I consistently get asked questions about how to deal with Bishop on this or that node. And the option here that I'm going for is quite simply Archangel. You can parry heavy and he's going to be dead. And even if he throws his special attack, we can see that he's not getting prowesses because he has no ability accuracy. And, well, wonderful. Absolutely nothing to worry about. This fight's going to be over momentarily here. So he's going to get stunned again. Why not? I'm going to go in for one more heavy attack. Done. Dusted. Sorted. No problem. And that was it. So we did end up winning this war fairly comfortably. I think there was decent gap there. I don't remember exact score. I forgot to take a screenshot, but we did win that one. So at this point we are 5-0, and this is our 6th war now. And that is against the Black's Alliance. Now, MRCBK, they are a very good alliance. I believe they have made masters pretty much consistently throughout the seasons. And we can see that it was very close at the time I started doing my paths. Once again, I didn't do my path in the evening. I waited till I wake up. And this time, I will kind of do them in one go, but only because I put on the Alliance War Boost the last 6 hours. So here we are down in exploration, and there's only one death difference. So it's clearly a very close war. And it ended up being a really close war as well. It got much more close than either one of the sides would have felt comfortable with. But here, so I'm putting on these Alliance War Boosts that last for 6 hours because I'm going to be able to do most of my fights in one go, but then I'm going to be basically 1 energy or 2 energy short. And I did these fights just before the stream, I believe. I did my morning stream, and then I went back in after the stream because my boosts were still active, and finished off my war. So here I am on path 4, and on path 4, first opponent is a Thing. Now, Nick Fury is not necessarily the perfect counter. You can see that I keep getting notifications that are slightly distracting, but you know, it's all good. But yeah, Nick Fury, you also need to be careful, because if you do get KO'd, then pretty much every single time you end up critting, you trigger protection. And that is something obviously you want to avoid. But in general, with Nick Fury, it's extremely easy to manage things, rock stacks. So nothing to worry about there. And I can keep shrugging on any and all debuffs that I do get. I think he will tag me somewhere. I think he will. Yeah, here we go. He tagged me twice, and that's gonna be it. He's not gonna tag me again. I probably should have dropped my level 3, but I wanted to be a bit more careful. Here we can see another notification that was just some direct debits being paid out or something. I don't even remember. But either way, slowly but surely, I am getting that thing down. Now, after I did get tagged, I'm not even dropping my heavy attacks anymore to remove the debuffs, to get rid of that fatigue, because I kind of want them to be there to give me that willpower healing. Since I did shrug off that heal block debuff, I am free to heal in this fight, and I don't really want to be critting too much against the Thing anyways, because I don't want to trigger protection. And yeah, I'm just going to leave them up there. But since opponent here, we can see again, clearly has Despair on, I should have been more careful. I didn't notice it as I was doing the fight, but because of Despair, if I have too many of those debuffs, my healing also gets mitigated. So I should have dropped in a heavy attack and gotten rid of those 6 stacks, because yeah, I'm not getting like full proper willpower healing here. But either way, I recovered at least a portion of the health, finished up the fight. It wasn't the quickest fight, but you know, wasn't anything overly dramatic. Now we're gonna move on to the next fight. There, I think I gave Nick Fury like 1 potion. That was 3 minutes, I think, heal boost. Yeah, that was the heal boost, because again, I need to use some of these in order to be able to claim basically the rest of the things. Just trying to save myself a potion, basically. And Void is obviously quite good placement on any of these nodes where you do get additional debuffs, so you do need to be careful. But Nick obviously shreds Void in pieces, because every time I knock Void down, I purify all the debuffs on me, whether they are from the nodes or from the Void himself. And on top of that, Nick has the class advantage, and Nick has the damage, and this is much quicker fight, because obviously Void is not bleed immune. So it's a very quick, very straightforward fight. Moving on to section 2. Now this is the encroaching stun stupefy power reserve node. This is always a bit stressful, a bit dodgy node, and I have been taking it actually quite a fair amount with my Human Torch. I kind of don't stress about it anymore, but it still looked as one of the more stuff can go wrong very fast type of nodes, because once you get stunned for quite a long time, and then you can get easily KO'd. And encroaching stun in general is just kind of like unnerving node. And yeah, so here up against Sasquatch. Now first of all, Sasquatch is not duped, but even if Sasquatch was duped, it wouldn't have made that much of a difference, because I'm playing fairly aggressively here, pushing opponent to his corner. I'm timing my level 1 to fit the encroaching stun time, and we can see that by the time that I did drop my level 1, that Sasquatch is barely alive, so he entered Wrath of Thunderak as he died. So it was very quick, kind of by the textbook fight. Didn't worry here much at all. Next I'm going to be on path 8, and I should have probably checked which champion I was assigned here for. Could have potentially been Magic, I don't know, but either way I just decided on bringing in Nick Fury, because again, all of those weakness debuffs that I will be gaining, I can easily shrug off. Unfortunately, I can't get rid of that passive heal block. But still, this is going to be actually a bit longer fight, so I'm going to fast forward through it. But basically, I just keep shrugging off all the debuffs with my level 1s or heavy attacks, and that's about it. It just takes a bit of time, but all is well. I probably was meant to use magic here. I'm not too sure. Either way, it did take, what? A while. But Nick got it done. Not too bad. And that is it for here. We can see that I'm gonna run out of energy, and then this next set of fights is like after my morning stream. And again, Storm Pyramid X, and I was thinking, which one of the champions I might use? Probably Magic. But I figured out that Human Torch will do the trick, because obviously all of Storm Pyramid X's hits are energy, so why not? And that was a mistake. Was a mistake. We're gonna see why I made a bad decision. I didn't tell my alliance mates this yet, so I hope none of my alliance mates are actually watching this, but you can see them still fully boosted. I'm using Indestructible 3 boost just to be safe. Divine Barrier, Heal Block passive, Rich Get Richer, all that good stuff. And I'm bringing Human Torch, and that was definitely a mistake. We're gonna see it right now. So, initially it seems, perfect. Parry, Smolder, drop couple of hits, didn't glance that much, still had some Incinerate stick. Very good. As the fight is gonna go on, I'm gonna get more and more. Wonderful. Right, and I can get rid of the weaknesses relatively easily just by dropping my level 1. And here was the first moment. She was gaining a lot of power with Rich Get Richer. Now I can nullify her power gain by triggering Dexterity buff, because she only gets the 1 buff. So if I trigger Dexterity, her power gain stops. So it's quite handy, to be honest. But still, in between me getting that scare of pushing her to level 2, luckily she didn't have prowesses, nowhere near enough prowesses to go unblockable. But now at this point, even with 13 Smolders, the fight isn't exactly speeding through. And it's fine. I'm going to drop my level 1 soon as well. I think I'm going to decide to go for my level 2s at some point quite soon, because those level 2 Incinerates cannot be glanced. Not quite yet, probably a bit later. But yeah, she's glancing vast majority of my hits. And I knew that she'll glance a portion of them. I had kind of forgotten how exactly effective the glancing is. We can see that time's ticking. You can have nearly 2 minutes spent in this fight. And she's still super healthy. I have my 19 smolders, but they don't really do all that much for me if I can't stick incinerates on her. And at this point I also have 8 weaknesses, and happy days. But here we go, now we're doing some damage. After the level 2 I got rid of the weaknesses, put on some incinerates on her, and now at least we made a substantial progress. This fight still has been like 2 minutes plus, so it definitely felt like it lasted forever. And yeah, Human Torch was not a great option here, I'd say. I'd definitely say that Human Torch was not a great option. It wasn't an awful option. It just didn't work anywhere close to as well as I thought it might. But either way, now we have the mini-boss fight of the war. And that mini-boss fight of the war is Dr. Doom, because of course it is. I actually really hate fighting Dr. Doom, and the reason for it is the block penetration. That I just hate the block damage. And again, here I was thinking, which champion will I use? I could technically use any one of the champions I have with me. That Hurt Locker node did annoy me quite a bit, because if I was to bring in magic, I'd have to drop a level 2, then a level 1, and only then I could build level 2. I could bring in Nick Fury. Nick Fury could probably get it done, but there's an issue of him potentially being able to nullify my Fury buff if he wrecks me, and then that would just make the fight, again, a lot more tricky and hard. So eventually I pondered quite a lot. You can see that I was thinking for a while, and I just settled on Human Torch. I'm going to use Indestructible 3 boost. I'm going to use a regen boost because I, well, have to use one of those. And the plan is to do 1, 2, 3, whatever hits, and just block. That's the plan. Because he has Power Focus 1, means he gets to 1 bar of power very quickly. But after that, he gains power very, very, very slowly. So I don't want to kind of like give him any opening to use that level 1. So I'm basically doing a couple hits and then taking some hits on block, building up my smolders, and just dashing back, holding block. And we can see that the plan is working. At this point, 50 seconds in the fight, he's 30%. He still hasn't reached level 2. He just reached level 2. He's like 20% health, and I will be easily able to KO him before he throws a special attack. So the plan worked out fantastic. I was super happy with this fight, actually, to be honest. Because, yeah, he didn't use a single special attack. Fight's over. Now, unfortunately, I did not get my pre-fight back from any of the fights I used Human Torch after Sasquatch. Because then I could have kind of slid in the Mephisto fight. But, either way, that is it for my contribution in the war number 6. And this was actually very, very tight. So for the longest time, it was like 2-1 deaths. We were leading by 1. Then at some point throughout the middle of the war, we kind of ran away with it a bit. And then for a while, it was like 5-1. So at that point, like, we started feeling much more safe. But before long, I think the score is 6-5 or something like that. And it got very, very close. The difference in this war was effectively 1 death. We won this one like 6-5, something like that. So it was very, very close. And thankfully, though, we still did manage to win. At this point, halfway in the season, we are 6-0. Hopefully, that O stays that way and we win all of our upcoming wars. And hopefully that lands us in top spot. But obviously, still a lot of work to be done. We're only halfway through. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'll keep you guys posted. Now, I do hope you guys enjoyed this war video. And if you did, hit that like button, hit that sub button, hit all the buttons. And I will catch you guys soon. See ya. With Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information